the ivory box in the center there was never, grandmother never talked to me about it, but it was always kept on the piano, the top of the piano. I knew it was special, whatever was put on the top of the piano. And then Aunt Helen had it on her mantle in her home in Oklahoma City. But it never was mentioned how they came with these prized things. I'm told that the ivory box is typical, and this little pincushion, which is also ivory covered, is typical of work found in China and India or Egypt. But how did they come by it? Grandmother never talked to me about specifics like this. The Scottish two cookbooks that I have, I bought one, and the other was a gift of Harriet Gemmell. And I prepared many things from them. I don't understand how my grandmother could be the gourmet cook that she was. When I stepped into her house, anytime, it smelled of ivory soap, and there was always something bubbling away on the stove and baking in the oven. And she had hands that were quick as lightning. And I never saw her ankles. She wore a long dress with an apron long tied over it. And she only had 2 pairs of shoes, one for Sunday and one for every day. I have a pair of shoes for every outfit. But it never caused me, occurred to me to realize grandmother was so individual. She taught me everything I know about homekeeping. I never could please her to dust right. I always had to do it over. There was a hymn I put in 5 times, but I never was at odds with her because I knew she was my lifeline. And she was always first in everything she did in school. I don't know what else to talk about. Oh, I want to mention about the Paisley. The Scottish people revere royalty, and they use these wool shawls as their coat. And of course they wore bouffant skirts, so it was only natural that they would have a demand for these. But their Paisleys are something to behold. And I found a magazine many years ago that I've kept that features every Paisley design ever created. And this Paisley shawl there is of the finest loom wool I've ever had in my hand. Now, it's just in shreds. I had thought that for my granddaughters, I would craft a vest or something that could be a keepsake, but I don't know if it would hold together or not. But I want you to notice the quality of the looming of the Paisley shawl there.
Mom, how about Robert Burns?
Well, of course, Robert Burns is the friend and revered more than anything else in Scotland. And Alexander Muir and Robert Burns were personal friends. And the silk hose there were a gift from Robert Burns to my grandfather, great-grandfather, and he wore those hose. And there's a story account there by Tom Muir, Mildred's father, about the possession of the silk hose. The little baby cap there belonged to Robert Burns. This was grandmother's mixmaster. I've seen her mix butter and sugar together, the beginning of making shortbread. And shortbread is just nothing but butter and sugar and flour. And she taught me to make it. And I've made some for us to taste today when this is over.